honest discourse.
Yeah, yeah.
Big time. Out of curiosity, Biggie or Tupac?
I have to say Tupac. Chris knows the answer.
Ah,
See, our
I
last
have
few
to.
guests said Biggie, and I
Yeah.
said Biggie as well.
Yeah.
he's a Biggie man.
Yeah, I understand.
Welcome back to Monks of the Trunk. This is episode, I won't say a number because we're going to switch it anyway. So I'm going to leave it ambiguous. Today we have King Evo, my man.
What's up?
And we're going to talk about some shit, mainly rap, because we all love rap, especially King Evo and Mikola. He's a big fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our topic for today. And hopefully this will be less of an interview like we usually do and more of a discussion because this is a podcast and not a chat show. Well, yes, it is a chat show. Who am I kidding? Okay, Mikola, take us away. What are we going with? What's your first query of the day?
I just wanted to see what you're into and stuff.
Okay.
Just like what type of music you're into. Just take us away. How'd you get into it and stuff?
All right, so ever since I was like a little kid, I've always been into like hip hop. That's like the number one genre that I've always listened to like all my life. When I was a kid, like, well, let's say like 3, 4, like I was listening to everything. My dad, was playing, James Brown and the Jackson 5 and everything, and Kool and the Gang. You probably never heard of them, but yeah, and the only rap I was listening to was Will Smith.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so not till I moved out of Ireland, and came here, my mom allowed me to like watch, MTV Base,
Yeah.
and they played a lot of hip hop and everything, and I was blown away by what I was listening to, and my uncles also listen to rap as well, so they kind of put me onto it as well, and yeah, I've been into it for years, primary school, secondary school, now, yeah.
That's what even James was saying. He knows you from primary school.
Yeah,
said
yeah,
even
he
back
does.
then,
Yeah,
you knew
he does.
so much shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We hadn't a clue, but this man knew his shit.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
in the day, fucking hell. But yeah, do you think your taste in hip hop has changed over the years?
It has actually. It
Yeah.
has. Back then when I was in primary school, I was listening to all types of hip hop. I didn't really have a specific taste.
Yeah.
Taste. Sorry. Excuse me.
Fire, get out. You're done.
Yeah, go on.
Specific taste.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was listening to Soulja Boy and all those rappers that I don't really listen to right now. I was more into, as I got into like secondary school, I got into more technical lyricism in hip hop.
Yeah.
So I was paying more attention to like bars, punchlines, metaphors, just the way certain rhymes are formed, in a sense. It's like the first sentence will rhyme with the ending sentence, and there's like a middle. No, there's a first word that rhymes with the end of the word, or the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
And there's another word that rhymes. No, you know what I mean.
I get
like,
you're like it's like what Genius do when they break down.
yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
It's like a lyric
Lyric
breakdown.
breakdown. I
Yeah.
find that as like a piece of art.
Yeah.
I,
So you like
that's what
you like
gets
to
me.
analyze it and stuff.
Yeah. I
Like
do.
see what he rhymed with what, all that shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
And growing up in primary school, I was into rappers like DMX, Eminem, 50 Cent. Those were like my 3 favorite guys
Yeah.
that I listened to. And then when I got into secondary school, I started listening to more 90s stuff. So like Tupac, Biggie, Wu-Tang, Big L, Big Pun, all those people, and there's nothing wrong with, turning up with, Travis Scott and, the auto-tune rap and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. When I'm in the club, I vibe out to it. When I'm in a group function, I vibe out to it. But when I'm on my own,
You
when
like to get deeper into it.
I
and
like
stuff.
to get deeper into myself. Yeah.
So you probably listen to more like conscious rap and stuff at home.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because even during summer this year, I've been listening to a bit more like 90s.
Yeah.
90s music, like Biggie, Tupac, LL Cool J, all them, you know.
Yeah.
Coolio, and it's pretty sick when you can go back a generation almost, or two, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can think,
generations in 20 years.
but you can see the difference.
Yeah.
There's like a whole different music culture back then.
Yeah.
And
There was.
Now it's all the SoundCloud culture.
Yeah, SoundCloud.
You've
culture.
got just so much more like little, not like fully formed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but just more guys getting into rap in general.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's more people.
Like even just the use of actual instruments.
Yeah.
Like I know there are still some people now that would have like live drums. Or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
like,
But
back
you
then
know,
it'd be almost
instruments.
like
It's
it'd be
kind
a
of dumbed
full
down
band
now.
almost,
Yeah. I understand that.
It's a lot easier to get into it, like with all the technology.
You know, yeah, hip hop it's like almost over 40 years old,
Yeah.
you know, and it started off in like Bronx, New York, then it went over other neighborhoods in New York, and it took off to Los Angeles. Then back then, like in the 90s, it was just like East Coast, West Coast, and then the South came up, and then rappers like Outkast, and it was hard for them to understand the South.
Yeah.
But the South, they were listening to they were like, let me try this. Let's show what we can do.
Yeah.
And then it advanced into it went off to other countries worldwide. So it's more hip hop is more like a worldwide thing now.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot more people listening.
There's a lot more people a lot more people are
But that's
into it now.
isn't that how the whole Tupac Biggie beef started? Is they're trying to well no,
it was more. It wasn't really because of
that.
East Coast, West Coast, or anything. It was more had to do with Death Row and Bad Boy Records, and there was a situation with Pac. He felt betrayed by Biggie because he got shot like 5 times in Quad Studios in Manhattan, and he felt like Biggie didn't really have his back. He didn't really have his support.
Yeah.
So that kind of drove Pac crazy in a way, paranoid in a way, and it was more like miscommunication with the whole situation. Pac couldn't. Biggie tried to talk to Pac. Pac felt weird around Biggie, so he was like, "I'm not gonna talk to him." But if only they had like a proper conversation, it wouldn't have gone the way it went.
Oh, that's how you solve any good conflict is honest discourse.
Yeah.
Big time. Out of curiosity, Biggie or Tupac?
I have to say Tupac. Chris knows the answer.
See, our last few guests said Biggie, and I said Biggie as well.
He's a Biggie man.
Yeah, I understand.
I feel like Tupac is very much so like you have to make a point of listening to him.
Yeah.
Like Biggie, you can just show him like hypnotize, like what even in the car on the way in. It's like, throw on Juicy, throw on Big Papa.
Yeah.
He's got the swag.
Yeah, Biggie. He's more
swag.
chilled, laid back. He's more like he does have a little bit.
He's
of
about making the money.
He does have some little deep songs here and there. About him coming up from the hood and everything.
Yeah.
And
he's good
also
at getting people turned dope though. Like that's the thing. It's real like hype. You get me?
Yeah, like Biggie's more like laid back, and he's a little bit more. When it comes to lyricism, Biggie, he's more like. He's more powerful as a lyricist than Tupac, but Tupac, he has his emotion brought out, and that kind of overshined Biggie in a way, and Pac was like more like deep in his songs and everything than Biggie was.
Yeah.
So, if I was around in the 90s, I would have picked, Pac. I still pick Pac, but I respect both of them as lyricists.
Oh, of course, they're both brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you think there are any rappers operating today who would be comparable in terms of the depth of their lyrics to Tupac?
There's really not really anybody like Pac or Biggie or anybody. Everybody is in their own lane, But the person I will say who's like the best in this, new generation of rappers, I will say Kendrick Lamar.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. He blew me away when I heard Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
When I heard Good Kid, Mad City, like it blew me away. Like that was like the first full album I've listened to by him. And then I remember hearing like his first song. The first song I heard of his was like High Power on his Section 80 album. Yeah, like
And ADHD.
ADHD. Yeah, I like the ADHD as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I was a fan of J. Cole back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Kendrick and J. Cole are like my both favorite rappers in this generation. I remember hearing J. Cole back in like 2011, I think, when he dropped like his first album. The Sideline Story.
Yeah.
And like the first song was like Who Dat. I think it was like the last track on that album, and I liked how he rapped. I liked his style and everything, and both of them, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, are like the best of this generation.
Yeah.
But Kendrick and J. Cole are not like the only rappers,
of course no.
keeping hip hop alive in this
No,
generation.
it's
You
a
have
fucking flowering industry.
Yeah, you have Joey Badass.
Yeah.
You have Rhapsody. I'm sure have you heard about Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Layla's Wisdom is like, it's like her best album to me. Who else? Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt.
I like Tyler as well.
Tyler, the creator.
Tyler's
Yeah. Have you heard the A$AP Rocky potato salad
salad?
song?
Yeah, it's pretty vibey.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
Even
like
Jaden sitting in the back in the car.
Yeah.
I've gotten into A$AP Rocky a good bit.
Yeah.
I like his shit.
Yeah.
He's unique right now as well. He's like a lot into fashion and stuff.
Yeah, he is. People mistake him as like a mumble rapper, but no, he can actually spit.
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky can spit. Like he has some fire stuff. I remember hearing him back in like, let's say 2012. I think it was like in 6th class in primary school. I think, or was it first year?
That's
secondary
crazy.
school?
Like 6th class. Holy shit.
I remember him like he dropped like his mixtape. Long Live A$AP, or was it at
Long
it was
Last?
it was the one with like he's in the black and white
At Long
picture
Last,
with the American flag in the background.
Yeah.
And the first song I heard of his was like Peso.
Peso.
Yeah. PESO. Yeah, you probably never heard of it.
Probably.
Like that was like I remember there was a TV show called 106 in Park, and like in BT. And they'll like show all these up and coming rappers as well, and that's how I heard about J. Cole. That's how I heard about Kendrick. That's how I heard about just the big rappers of today.
And did you go Longitude by any chance?
No, I never.
J. Cole played main stage.
Yeah,
and
I
he performed
saw.
1985 a cappella.
Yeah.
It was so fucking crazy.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
He gives such powerful performances. I feel.
Yeah.
Even when he was at the Tree Arena earlier this year.
Yeah.
You're in London right now, aren't you?
No, I'm in Sunderland. It's up north in England, near Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
But, like you're studying, like so you're probably going to other shit over there if you get.
Yeah. I've never really actually been into a concert or a live festival at all. I would watch them.
Shit, really?
Yeah, never.
That's interesting.
Your first one's
that is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never. I would watch performances on YouTube.
The live performances.
And I'll get hyped just watching it.
Yeah.
Even J. Cole had like full live drums and a full band and everything.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
Yeah,
You'd love it.
yeah. I seen it on a lot of people's Snapchats, and I'm like, damn, I wish I was there.
All the short documentaries people post.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Even I was sad when Kendrick came 2 years ago. I think Kendrick came.
Kendrick
Longitude,
came to Longitude. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I was about to go, but I tried being romantic for my girlfriend at the time. I'd rather spend time with her and everything. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think of Kendrick's newer stuff in comparison to his older stuff? Specifically, what do you think of Damn?
What I think of Damn
album? Yeah.
As an album, you know, actually, I've grown to like it a lot. You know,
Yeah.
at the first listen, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, same. I was a little shaky.
I
about it.
was like expecting something huge, something to
Yeah.
leave, something like to, you know, when I listened to Pimp a Butterfly, you know,
Yeah.
after finishing that album, I was like, this album is amazing. Like I was at a loss for
Blown
words.
away,
I was
yeah.
blown away, especially at the last track with Mortal Man when he was talking
Yeah.
to Tupac. Like I was shaking. I was like, what?
Shivers.
I was
didn't
like, huh? You know? And then when Dam came, you know, I'm not really big of, you know, the whole trap sound and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, the first listen I was very, you know, disappointed. But after listening to it over the summer that year, you know, I actually grown to like it a lot.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
I still think it's his like weakest album.
Yeah.
I still think so. It's the album is pretty good, you know, but I still think it's like his weakest album.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a Kendrick album, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
I
It doesn't
still-
compare.
I think it's I was on the same vibe as you in terms of what the fuck. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of them albums that you have to just listen to like 20 times.
Mm.
You know, you have to really get into every single song.
Yeah.
Even the whole thing where you can listen to it backwards.
Mhm.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
like the
I
collector's
tried
edition.
listening to it backwards, but
It's a whole different story being told, if you get me.
I didn't really get that, to be honest.
No?
I didn't really
That
get
could
that.
just be like a placebo sort of thing. It's like, oh, it just so happens to
Listen-
kind of
yeah,
sound
Well,
like
he
a
did
story.
it,
Yeah.
but he did it on purpose. It's like the
I can say.
Yeah,
that.
he
a lot
did
of
it on
people-
purpose, but I didn't really. I tried listening to it backwards, but
Mm.
I didn't really get any type of message.
Because
Yeah.
you know in the
From
first
listen-
song when he speeds up the whole.
Yeah, the first. Yeah,
first-
was the last? No, it wasn't the first track.
It
The
was the
first
last
track. It was the
track.
last track, Duckworth.
Duckworth, yeah.
Yeah,
so
when
at the
after
start,
after when he says, "When I die in a gunfight," boom, and then it speeds kind of forwards, backwards,
Yeah.
kind of way.
Mm.
It speeds like up to like, oh, so I was taking a walk the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the gunshots.
Yeah.
But
so,
the thing is, when you listen to it backwards, it speeds backwards. If you get me.
Wait,
So
are
it's
you
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a whole.
yeah,
He's
that's
taking
true.
a whole different
that's
perspective
true.
on the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So he's like, at the start, he's telling the story from back to front.
Yeah.
Then he's telling the story from front to back.
Yeah,
You get me?
yeah. I get you.
I think it's
So-
logic as well. Is it under pressure? I know, like, I'm gonna. Logic, this is one thing we always go
This
on with,
guy.
it's just like,
This guy is a Logic fan. Like I remember showing him like it was Pusha T like for the intro of like Darkest Before Dawn, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I showed him that and he was like, yeah, this sounds like Logic actually. This sounds like something Logic would do. But yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally like under pressure. Like, it just seemed like such a sick album. And like,
Yeah.
it's like that kind of album that you can just throw on and just let it play through.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
such
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice like flow to it.
Yeah.
And then I got the opportunity to see him live in
Yeah.
Manchester,
Yeah.
and we bought. They were called VIP tickets. Which
Yeah.
were like £10 extra.
Uh-huh.
You got in first. We were like right on top of the chap.
Mhm.
And even his DJ Rhetoric
Yeah.
put on like the sickest pre-show DJ
Yeah.
thing ever. So we were like hyped, and he went through the entire album, and it was just
Yeah, it's crazy. With
so sick.
the first time I heard about Logic was like back in 2013. He was on the Double XL magazine with Joey Badass. Who else? Schoolboy Q, Absol, Action Bronson, Dizzy Wright, Angel Hayes. But that has to be like the best year in like Double XL for me. And then like I heard him, you know, do a freestyle cipher with Dizzy Wright. You probably never heard of him, but I was a huge fan of him back in that time. I still am. I remember like seeing him, and you know I was like, who's this guy? Let me go and like Google him. Let me go and search him, and then like I heard like a couple songs. Then I kind of forgot about him. Then when Under Pressure dropped, I was like, okay, let me listen to this guy properly. And then when I heard
He's
Under
literally
Pressure,
telling a story
Yeah.
the entire way.
Yeah.
And the way he does it is just like
Mhm.
incredible.
yeah.
I think,
So
like, I remember, I think it was Sway in the Morning in one of those.
Mhm.
He went on, he was doing a freestyle.
yeah,
And do you know that lyric? It's like, this music in my jeans like venom.
yeah,
Lyricism seeping on like denim or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know the
he
flow
used-
harder than
yeah.
Lucifer, even though Heaven
He
Sent.
used
yeah.
that in the freestyle, and
Yeah.
then he released it in the album. I was
Yeah.
like, it's already a freestyle then, is
Yeah. Yeah.
Still sick though.
Yeah, it is. Like, I became a fan when I instantly became a fan when
You're
Under
like,
Pressure
what do
came.
you think of? Is it Everybody? Is the new one?
Everybody was, I think it came out in 2017 last year. I respect the concept, you know.
It's a concept. It's a whole concept.
It's a concept.
Yeah.
I expect them. I respect the message, but I don't know the sound. I don't know. It came out as a little cheesy to me.
I think he's going for a whole younger age group, and he's literally trying to inspire people almost.
Yeah.
Because people, we went to see him live, me, Jack, and Shane, like 2 other boys, and it was crazy because so many people were hyped for him. But I just didn't feel. I felt so much younger people, like 13, 14, 15, and it was just a younger concert, you know?
Sure,
Yeah.
when
I
me
think-
and Shane went, we would have only been 16, 17. Like, it's very much I feel like people like him and Woody Allen and all those, like, their main like group of listeners are like really young. They're really young compared to like the mainstream recording artists now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like especially like it was all right when we went because like we were the same age. But as you said, like you go now, you go to listen to Logic and you're surrounded by like 14, 15-year-olds. And
Yeah.
even I remember.
But they were also.
That's all I'll always remember. Right, there was this kid there with his mum.
Yeah.
He was like at the barrier with his mum. His mum was with him,
Yeah.
and the kid literally singing every single lyric. Like I've never seen someone do this. Like the entire album,
Yeah.
word for word, the entire way through.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, was that the kid? Was that the kid that had like the recent birthday and he's going touring with the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He brought this like 14-year-old kid on tour with him. Him and his dad were there.
Wow.
And then as well, he was like asking whose birthday is it today and stuff on it. And like everybody was just so hyped, but it was such a younger little vibe.
Yeah.
Like when you're listening to like the new Kendrick shit, the
Yeah.
new J. Cole,
Yeah.
like even Travis Scott came out today, but you're just in a whole different, you're thinking a lot more, you know? You're not just, it's not like a short thrill in a sense.
Yeah.
It's,
Music is for everyone, all ages,
everybody has something to listen to.
everybody,
Something there for everyone.
the greatest thing about music is that you can find pieces of yourself into it, you might not really, find yourself in most of the topics that they speak about, but you can relate to, the idea of, let's say the typical rapper who talks about, I came from the hood and I made it out. You might not really relate to the part where he came from the hood, but you can relate to that, the aspect of working hard to get to what you want,
to something greater.
to get to something greater.
Yeah.
So you can use that and say, I'm gonna apply that to myself, and
It can inspire you for anything. Like,
anything.
I don't know if you've gotten into him, but Nav, you know Nav? He's
never
like
heard of
out of EXO with The Weeknd.
Oh, okay.
And he sings like about just making a load of money and like literally just like having to leave people behind and stuff. But he talks about money in that sort of going to greatness way,
Yeah.
You can listen to it, you can be into it, but you can just apply it to, like, say for example, trying to get something to go well in a sense.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So he's really good, and I don't know, I asked you earlier, you didn't hear the new Travis, no?
No, I didn't
No.
hear the new Travis actually.
That would have been.
I'll probably get into it when I get back
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
Oh, you said, you're not really.
I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
Into Travis Scott as a rapper, but when I hear his songs from time to time,
Yeah.
I think it's
I think Mac Miller released something today as well, a new album.
Yeah,
Did you listen to Mac Miller?
I listened to him a little bit. I used to listen to him a lot when I was in like first year, but I kind of lost touch with him.
Yeah, this guy's out of your league, man. First year. Oh.
That's that, but I feel it's a first year kind of vibe.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is.
That's why I love
The
him so
album?
much.
Like, his older stuff.
Yeah, his older stuff.
His older stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
His newer stuff is it's as if he he matured with his music. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But yeah, like the Feminine Divine. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard about
I
that
think
one.
that's
yeah,
a really
yeah,
good
yeah,
album.
Yeah.
Has some bangers out of it, like Dang and stuff. you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak. Yeah.
Anderson
No,
.Paak.
Mac Miller.
Yeah, Dang is
Dang.
the song. with
Oh, wait,
Anderson
Anderson.
.Paak.
Yeah. I thought you said nah. But yeah, that Dang song, like that's out of it.
What do you think of Anderson .Paak?
Anderson .Paak is very, very talented. Like
Oh, this
the
stuff-
first time I heard of him was like in Dr. Dre's album Compton, around the time like Straight Outta Compton came out. Like that album was such a big deal because Dre hasn't dropped an album since for like 16 years
Crazy
at the time.
Probably since.
Since 1999. You know,
Really?
Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001
Yeah.
came out in like late 90s.
Fucking hell.
So he hasn't released an album since then. So when he finally released an album, you know, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember like hearing Anderson .Paak like singing. I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Like his
He has,
voice.
even just the music
Yeah.
that he has, and like literally.
Him playing live on the drums.
anytime-
Yeah.
Anytime
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm in the car straight away, it's like Dang, or like just any one of his songs.
Yeah.
It's such a chill vibe, but like his
Mhm.
talent is incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those fast flow rappers almost, where you can make out every single word
Mhm.
he's saying,
Yeah.
and he'd go for it 10
Yeah.
minutes straight.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a talented guy, you know.
Have you heard him play his drums?
Yeah,
live?
I've heard him.
Holy
I
shit.
haven't seen
Like,
him
even the
live,
video.
but I've seen him, you know, play drums. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, he's very talented.
Holy shit! Did
Yeah.
you see him live? Play drums live. It was crazy because he has I can't remember the name of the song, but there's that one song with the drums interlude,
Mm.
and it's like boom champagne, and he's just drumming away. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, boys. On that note, we're gonna have to take a small break because
Yeah.
our cameras are about to time out, but we'll be back very shortly.